Hello and welcome. Well, you're probably wondering, where in the heck has this guy been? Where have I been? What have I been doing? Well, I've been busy, and mostly I've been busy here. But the main thing is I have been busy with a project I've been working on. Now, most of my life has been spent doing projects for other people, and we would go about making it. So during that time, I carried one of these. This is called a day timer. This always irritated me. It was good, a kind of a love-hate relationship. So what would my ideal notebook be? Well, it'd be something I could take pages out, give them to somebody if they needed them for measurements or to do something, a shopping list, whatever it might be. Instructions on what to do next. Sure, I can text that now, but it's easier to write. That would be one thing. Just to give you a Reader's Digest condensed version, take a look over here. This is what I've made. My own personal one is with me all the time. And now, as I use it and people see it, they say, "Hey, what's that?" And I say, well, it's something I've wanted for about 40 years, and I couldn't find it, so I made it. And they say, can you make me one? And that's what I've been doing. One of my key considerations in doing this was having something that I could do here in the road trek, just something I could do to, one, pass the time, and that's why I got going in leathercraft there at Christmas time this year, and making something has always been kind of part of what I do. Over the years, I've made things for other people. This is something I made for me. The fact that other people see it, appreciate it, and want it, well, that's a bonus. I have what I want. They don't like the paper, they can make their own paper. There are all kinds of things that I built into this that were peeves. I had to mail away and wait for paper. If I was out, what am I doing? I got to write on napkins and put them in here. So that's what I've been up to. This is going to be ongoing. But during the course of this, I felt like the first of the year, Christmas time, I was reevaluating what I was doing on YouTube. And as a result, I was looking over what I'd done and felt like I was getting a little stale. So with that in mind, I embarked on a new craft or hobby idea, leatherwork, and that inspired me to all kinds of different things and took me in all kinds of different directions to see things that I probably wouldn't otherwise have come in contact with. And it was great energizing. That's the best way I can put it. It energized my brain and provided the creative juice to now have more things in the way of challenges and projects and things to problem solve and overcome and step through a process. The creative process is what I call it. And that's something that ebbs and flows. You're energized and you do a lot of that, and then you lose some of your edge. You can get it back. You don't have to sit and be depressed. No. The thing about ideas is they come in a flash and they're gone in a flash. And you've got to be able to, write it down, capture it right then and there. Me, I use a piece of paper. The thing that came to me, it's not earth-shattering, is what I'm thinking about affects how I feel. And how I feel affects what I do or don't do. That's where I was. I was getting a little stale, feeling that way, thinking I was stale, feeling stale. Things would come on, or I'd read something, somebody would send me a post or some kind of Twitter or something, take my mind right off out into some other arena, and I'd stop thinking about what I was actually wanting to work on and be distracted by these other things. I've got a name for it. See, these are the things that I like to write down to remember. I call it ADE. That's attention, diffusion, environment. See, I don't suffer, or I'm not affected or afflicted, but I am living in an environment. I don't have a lot of control over the external part of that environment. I just have control over what's right here around me, my immediate sphere of influence. The rest is being influenced by other things. And a lot of it is very distracting and takes my mind and my attention off things I want to actually be thinking about. And then if I start thinking about those other things, it starts affecting the way I feel. Well, I'm not interested in letting something else affect how I feel. I'm interested in my affecting how I feel. And since I do that mostly with how I think, what I think about, what I'm doing, then one feeds into the next, and I begin to develop a much more positive cycle and a better process for creating things. What this does is help me. I see something, I say I need to do that, and I write it down. I just 4 or 5 words on a piece of paper, and I put it in. I don't have to worry about remembering it. It's not going to go away. It's here. It's not going to be in a bound notebook that winds up in a drawer someplace that I never look at again. Do you know that, okay, we have these camera phones. If you think about it, most of the time for me, I don't know about you, but most of the time for me, most of the pictures I take, I look at twice. I look at them when I take them, and then I look at them as I'm throwing them in the trash. In between, I don't look at most of the pictures. I mean, once in a while, I might look at a picture of my cat or something, and if I'm using the pictures to create something else with, well, sure, then I look at them, but I'm looking at them analytically. How are they composed? Are there things in them I don't want? Should I erase this, move that, crop it this way? I'm not really looking at the way the picture makes me feel. Some people, that's a big deal. Maybe they sit and thumb through their photo albums. That's just, I tend to think most people have a lot more pictures than they probably look at, other than when they take them, and then when they 86 them and throw them in the trash. Make room for new pictures they're going to look at when they take them. I have a thought or an idea, like right now, I'll show you one. It's not just easy to move the bicycle in such a way I can get access to that cabinet, and the little door bangs into part of the bicycle, and I have about that much space of an open door, so it's pretty useless. So if I could pick the door up and take it off whatever it's being held with and move it out, then I could access through the opening everything inside the cabinet. And so I'm going to do that. Well, that's the long version. The quick version is fix the cabinet door. I just need a jog in the memory. And so that's one of my notes. And it just goes in here in a folder, things to do list, van. In the dormant winter climate, we tend to take on more things like clothes and that kind of stuff. I need to trim that stuff out for the warmer weather. All these things are just a page. edit clothes for summer, make drawer partitions. Mostly what I take notes on are, and I think a note in general is that purpose, a reminder, something we want to remember that we know if we don't write it down, we're going to forget it because our time is limited and we have a lot occupying the time, along with a lot of attempts to diffuse our attention and our focus. That's what's coming up. Also coming up are a couple of new food treats. I have a salted caramel special coffee, French style cheesecake that's delicious, that people are now, they're saying, would you make that for me, please? And it's like, this is a lot of work. So every once in a while I make one for somebody, so next time I make one I'll video it and you can see what's involved in making one, and if you'd like to make one. Then I have another dish that's kind of related to that. There was some stuff I got in Oregon that I really liked called Apricot Honey Fromage. What's fromage? Well, essentially it's curdled milk. Fancy name. Fromage sounds a little more appetizing than curdled milk, in my opinion. So I got it. I sampled it one day at a store, and I said, wow, that's good. I got some. And then I never saw it again. So I found the empty container lid, and it still had the label on it of the company that makes it. They're in Oregon. I'll leave you a link to the description of the original thing that I got. Me, personally, I can't afford that, so I make it. They do it. I can do it. Anybody can do it. It's just putting your mind to it, having enough focused attention to be able to do it, and the thing about it is it's really nice to be able to have what you want anytime you want it without having to run around, drive 10 miles or wait in lines or that kind of thing. You just get out a mixer and make it, and you're good. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you think it'd help somebody else, please share it with them. Make sure to subscribe if you'd like to get more content like this. And as always, comment as you see fit. Till the next video, see you later. Okay, here's a quick how-to. This is where normally a spare tire and spare tire cover would go on the back of the road truck on this arm that goes across from one side of the door to the other side. Now, I don't want to remove this, but I've caught myself. This is about rib cage high for me. This is a little lower, maybe hip positioning. So within this, I've definitely hit this multiple times walking around the van in the dark or that kind of thing, and yeah, I can tell you it hurts like hell when you hit it. So what I want to do is cover it up with something. So I'm going to use a piece of this corrugated plastic material, make a little triangular cover over it, and then just wire tie or zip tie it on, and that way at least I'll be running into something a little angular, a little softer perhaps than these sharp bolts coming through. The bolts are difficult to take off. You can see they've got a keeper on them. If I take them off, I'll probably lose them, and if I want to put the spare tire back on a long trip or something out in the desert, I want to just be able to get the spare tire cover and do that. So this is my quick fix to keep myself from breaking my ribs or getting cut up or banging into this thing. So stick with me here. All right, so this is just a little piece of the same material I have here. I think that'll probably be enough to do the job, and we'll see. So what I did was I just slitted one side, left the other side intact of two of the panels here, and I'm going to turn these on the inside so the slits will be back here, not outside. I'll just kind of burnish them in so that they bend, and then that should come out here and cover this up, and then a couple of wire ties on the ends here should hold it in place. We'll see. All right, so there I have my kind of working hypothesis. I think being this big, it'll be easy to make that stay in place so that if somebody hits it, they'll just kind of take a blow, but it'll be a lot softer than hitting that thing. And so there it is, the finished thing. So now you're going to bang into that, but you're not going to hit those bolts and break the skin and hurt yourself. So that takes care of that. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. Just a couple of wire ties through the material, hold it in place,